Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Wednesday afternoon, August 4th. We are looking at Window Trader's market profile of the SPY ETF, IWM, QQQs. And after a double distribution day up yesterday, the buyers put a pretty good effort today as we traded inside of the upper distribution from yesterday all day. Incredibly held the single prints by pennies in SPY, by one tick in the QQQs, in the ES, overlapping a higher value, 10 wide POC, all the volume done. Look at this, I'm in 2 tick increments here, all the volume done in a very, very tight range today. Our range today was very small, under $2 compared to yesterday was over 5, and all the volume was done basically within a 33-cent range. That's pretty good news for the bulls, actually. We digested yesterday's move. We stayed in the upper distribution. Now, inside day. So tomorrow should be very interesting. This is just a 9-day balance. That's it. Now the question is, when we come out of the inside day, you're supposed to go with it and monitor it for continuation or lack of. Well, if we take out today's high, that's an inside day up. We're going to get close to Tuesday's high and then the all-time high. So, and balance rules will come into effect again. On the flip side, if we take out this inside day to the downside, well, certainly you're taking back the rest of those singles. Then you're going to get into the lower distribution from yesterday. And guess what? The next real destination until you get more MGI is yesterday's low, which is 12 cents off the balance low. Remember, it's a small balance. Triple Qs today, they're in a 6-day balance. They got up to it 2 cents short of it in H. I said that's a great short play. I couldn't trade, by the way. I had some issues. My machine was down most of the day. I took one trade today. It would have been a decent day too. Could have taken a short trade in Triple Qs against their 6-day balance high. It came off $1 right off of that. They finally did get above it in K, but just briefly. So they just stretched it and came back in. They end up with an afternoon pullback in L, the day's high, the day's low. Russell opened, pushed up tremendously, barely took out yesterday's high, looked above and failed, and then spent the whole day just muddling along towards the bottom of yesterday's range. They go out only 8 wide and an afternoon rally high in J. For us, we do have a 10 wide. And we have the day's high and the day's low. The one trade I took was in B period initially, not up here, but when we pulled back, wanted to see if we were going to hold the opening. My machines went down. I got out of most of the trade for a profit, and then my machine went down. Couldn't get out of the rest of them, so spent a good part of the rest of B and C period on the phone trying to straighten it out. And then the machine was down basically for the rest of the day, my platform. So I didn't take another trade. What would I have done? There's 2 trades I would have done. Actually 3. C period, the first time we touched the single prints, would have taken a call play. Probably a smaller one, maybe a 20 lot. Would have paid. The bigger trade I would have taken is E. When we went down, right around the single print fill, would have taken probably at least a 50 call play there. That would have paid very handsomely also. The only other trade I would have taken would have been an L period. When we pushed lower, we got right to value low. I said to the room, and again, this isn't something I'm just saying now. I told the room. Well, I didn't tell them about C period because I was on the phone, but I certainly told them about E. And in L, I said if we pull back enough from POC around value low, I would take a long, and that would have worked. So I would have taken 3 more trades on the day, which all would have paid. And unfortunately, I couldn't. And that's kind of frustrating considering yesterday I didn't trade well and lost money. I would have gotten back some of it today. The algos were very accommodating and readable today. One other trade you could have taken was a short at K's high against the day's high. I told the room, we took out the IB to the low. The odds of taking out the IB to the high that go down dramatically. Doesn't mean we can't. But I myself would not have taken that trade. You know how I like to see above the day's high. So I would not have taken that trade. But that was definitely one you could have done. And by the way, speaking of taking out both sides of the IB, the triple Qs have now done it 2 days in a row, taking out both sides of their IB. Pretty interesting. And they're in a balance also. So there's some really, really erratic action going on inside of these balances, as these algos are just all over the place. As far as destination, there's only 4 destinations to the upside. Today's 10 wide pocket, B's low of 439.65. Today's high of 440.41. Yesterday's high 441.28, and the monthly and all-time high of 441.80. For the downside, we don't have anything to today's low of 438.73. Then we have the single prints. They start at 438.72, get filled at 67, so 5 little cents left. And then nothing until yesterday's low of 436.11. And then you should have all the other ones I've given you numerous times, from the weekly low on down to the 432.14 daily low. So, on the chart, here's the daily. That's really the only one that's in focus right now. It's a 9-day balance. Inside day. We had a huge range yesterday, over $5. We have a very small range today, under $2. So, there's also a good chance, because of the erratic nature of these algos in this balance, we could take out both sides of it. I certainly wouldn't be, nothing would surprise me. The fact that we had a double distribution day down, only to take it back yesterday, only to take, almost take back today, yesterday's today, nothing would surprise me. So with such a small range, I would not be surprised if you take out both sides of it. Now, Friday is non-farm payroll, so we'll see if we're going to have another quiet day like we did today. But again, inside day, you go with it and monitor it for continuation or lack of. The volume today right now, 43 million, which is horrendous with the after hours. I'm just going to show you triple Qs real quickly. So here's their balance. Their daily balance is all encompassing inside of July 27th. This is day 6. We took out the 27th high by 10 cents and closed back into it. So all they did was stretch the balance by 10 cents. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to the opposite end of the balance right away, right? It's only one day. But if we can't get back above yesterday's high, well, then eventually 360.16 would be your ultimate destination to the downside. They're in spitting distance to their all-time high. So we'll see how they come out of that. And one other thing, you could basically treat IWM as an inside day, because they just barely looked above yesterday and failed. So again, I would treat this as an inside day. So if you come out of it to the upside, you go with it. Maybe they go and test the 50-day moving average. If you come out of it to the downside, well, then again, they have to start worrying about their 200-day moving average coming into play at some point. I hope you had a great day trading. Enjoy your evening, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.